Kind of sad. Last time we'll see this thing.
Ah, there it is.
Is this on?
Well, let's go.
Yep. Mind frame. Welcome to another episode of Home Wrenchers. If you're like me, you're probably going a little crazy, but now is finally a good time to pick up on some projects that we've been putting off for a little bit. Gonna start wrenching on the S14. Got some little bits to do. Sway bar, fuel surge tank. I've had these parts laying around for months and I just haven't gotten around to doing it because the car runs great. I've been driving it, so. And if you follow me on social media, you may know that the M3 is officially sold. So kind of sad about it, but also kind of excited to move on to the next project. I got a couple things to do to that car because we worked out a deal with the new owner and he wanted to remove some of the parts to lower the price, which actually worked out really well because I got to keep stop techs, my Recaros, and some aero parts, which is great because I could use that on the next project. Oh, and I get to keep my wheels, big thing. I get to keep the TEs and the fixies, so that's awesome. And I get blown up a lot about this online, so I figure I'll just address it in this video. So the E46 M3 is a great car. I love it. I've had it for 5 years now, which is the longest I've ever owned any car ever. Since I moved to California 5 years ago, I've probably had like 30 cars. This car was pretty special to me. I have said I wanted to keep it forever, but I only have so much space, and honestly, having a ton of projects just means that a lot of them get neglected. I want to move on. I want a dedicated track car, which is going to be the E36 build. Still figuring out if I'm going to do an LS or maybe a JZ or just put like an S52 in it. That's a whole nother conversation. And then I don't want to get rid of this because I put so much time, money, and effort into this car and it's finally done. So like, not ready to let go of that one. I still need, you know, the dailies and stuff. Unfortunately, the M3 had to go. It's the only one on the list. I'm kind of stoked. I mean, the new owner is a pretty cool kid. He's local. He wants to track it. He wants to make 400 wheel horsepower NA on it. So it's rad because it'll probably go on to get like cams and like a built head and stuff. So really stoked on that. Hopefully we'll stay in touch. We'll get to go to the track and stuff together so I can still see the car, but I'm really glad it's going to a good home because, you know, anyone out there who's built a car knows that it sort of sucks if you sell it and then you see it get like destroyed. That's kind of a bummer. I know I built an STI way back in the day in 05 with a rotated 3076. Sold it to a guy. He hit a deer on the way home and totaled it. And I was like, kind of heartbroken. That sucked. Hope this car has a better future. Back to what we're doing today. Work on the car a little bit. Work on this car a little bit. Give our final farewell to the M3. Try to make a decent episode out of this, but don't get your hopes up because this is my tripod setup. Yes, it's a garbage can. These are the things we're resorting to these days. We've got some parts here that we took off the M3. We've got the aero package, we got the stop techs, splitter, and then I got the rest of the aero up there, and I got to keep my wheels. And then maybe one of these episodes is gonna be just me cleaning my garage because this place is a friggin' mess. It needs to get painted. I need to do some sheetrock work in it. I need to do a lot of stuff. I need to do some organizing. I mean, after watching Soupy's episode, I really learned that I gotta organize, man, because the shelving units just are not doing it.
Damn right.
That's it. Let's take a look at the M3 real quick. That's it. Wheels are off. New wheels are on. New owner's coming to pick it up in a couple minutes. Kind of sad. Last time we'll see this thing. All the sets of wheels I've had, I've never had silver arcades, and I gotta say, it looks pretty good. The only sad part about this is that I sent it to Strasbourg to get some paint work done before I sold it. So they like new front bumper, shaved the side markers, fresh paint, you know, a little bit of paint correction, painted the diffuser, the rear bumper. And like the car's looking the best it's ever looked. And now it's someone else's, but I guess that's, you know, how it goes because no one's gonna want my beat up track rat. Now we'll get working on this guy. What we got first is a sway bar kit from Bink Industries. I got this like 8 months ago and I've been putting it off. A lot of you guys will probably know that with the JZ and the way the sump is, you can't run a factory sway bar, it'll hit. I took the sway bar out originally, and I gotta say I don't really like the way the car feels with no sway bars. I like to run a softer spring and a sway bar to compensate rather than running like super heavy spring. So for that reason, I want to put a sway in, and this one is actually really cool. So it's got, you know, sway bar ends that actually bolt up to the straight bar here. So it comes with all the hardware. We got the end links, got all the hardware. We got some new bushings and stuff in here. And then I got a whole grip of Radium Engineering stuff just sitting around. Spare set of injectors, because mine keep getting dirty because this car sat for a decade. And even though I run 2 fuel filters, I still managed to clog up injectors. So I just got that set cleaned, and I actually sent them back to Deechworks, and they were cool enough to comp me a set so the car wasn't down. And then they cleaned these and then actually sent them back to me and just said, keep them. So super rad. Shout out to those guys for hooking me up on that. But I got fuel surge tank, fuel filters, 2 pumps, and some other stuff. So I got to figure that out. Unfortunately, we can't get that running because I could mount that, I could run all the lines, all that stuff, but I need some module for the AEM. It's like an 8 signal CAN thing to wire in. That's the agenda for today. Pretty simple. I actually really like this design. It's a 3-piece bar, so it's got sway bar, these cool sway bar ends that have adjustable pivot points. So they say that you should start in the middle, so I'll probably set it up there. Adjustable rod ends for to connect the arms. Those look like they bolt to the control arm. Not sure what these are for yet. So it looks pretty straightforward. I think they said the only thing we gotta do is we might have to cut the power brace a bit. We're gonna mock this up, start doing some cutting, and hopefully it's pretty quick. First things first, we gotta make a little clearance in here with the sway bar in place. So, gonna have to do a little bit of trimming here, mount, and a little bit of the frame right there just for maximum clearance. So, chop that up real quick, just use an angle grinder, saw it down, hammer it up. We'll start fitting this thing up. After that, I think it's really straightforward. It's just a matter of bolting it all together. So, just a couple cuts, and then we'll be on our way. Cut that right there nice, and then just hit it with some black spray paint just so we don't get any rust, and just so it looks a little nicer than just a raw cut. Gonna do the other side real quick and then mount up the sway bar. All right, so I got the sway bar bolted up, hung in there real nice. I like these end links, it looks super cool. Goes right around the front right there. Comes out, and now all we have to do is situate the end link here from the sway bar bracket onto the control arm. If you don't have a creeper in your garage, these things are a lifesaver. I would highly recommend. Makes getting around super easy to grab tools and get back in and out under the car. All right, so we got the bar in, or at least on the passenger side, so you can see how it works. So they provide these U-joints here, which bolt into the factory location of where the sway bar goes. And then you have this nice double Heim joint for a sway bar end length that connects that to the end of the sway bar. These are adjustable so that you could adjust the level and the tension on the sway bar. So that link right there should be just about parallel with the frame at ride height. So obviously this is on jack stand. So once we get everything bolted up and tight, we're gonna have to put the car down to a ride height and then adjust the end length from there. But for now, I'm gonna bolt up the other side, tighten everything up, make sure everything is even, and then we'll adjust the preload on the links. Got the driver's side on also. So now I'm gonna lower the car down onto all 4 wheels, check out the height of the sway bar end link, level that out, and then I think we're good to go. All right, we got this thing all buttoned up. It is looking good. I just adjusted the end links, which is super easy. I know I was gonna do the surge tank today, but I realized that I don't have a couple of fittings. It is getting a little bit late. I got a couple other things I have to do inside. So I think that's where we're gonna stop today. While I do have a bunch of like little projects to do on this, I also kind of wanna like hold off and spread out as much work as I need to do over a couple days. I wanted to get an episode done because I know a lot of you guys are bored at home. saying next time we'll start working on the surge tank. We got a turbo to swap out, and then hopefully soon we'll be able to go out, get on the dyno, do some before and afters with the 3076 versus the G3770. But until then, stay safe out there. Try to stay home as much as possible. Wash your hands. Do all the right stuff. Don't let people on the internet talk shit and think that you shouldn't be cooperating. Let's just do this, get through it together, then we'll get back to normal life. That's a wrap. See you guys.